Welcome to SATV News. This is Anaf Hussain with our headlines. Enemies of nation trying to rise again, creating unrest. Warned Fakhrul. BNP announces 10-day program to mark 7th November. NCP ready to accept Shapla Koli as party symbol. Referendum before or on polls day acceptable, says Nahid. Kushtia killings charges framed, trial ordered against Hanif, Inu and 3 others. SC enters 6th day of hearings on caretaker appeal. Now in details. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alongir has warned that enemies of the nation are once again trying to rise, creating unrest and spreading false propaganda on social media at a time when people are living in uncertainty and despair. In such a situation, the spirit of unity embodied in 7th November has become even more relevant, he said after an event on the Sipahi Janata Revolution of 7th November at the BNP Central Office in Neapolitan today, saying the day marks an important turning point in Bangladesh political history. Fakhrul stated, in 1975, through the Sipahi Janata Revolution, martyred President Ziaur Rahman was freed from house arrest. Conspirators against the nation had imprisoned him. From that situation, patriotic soldiers and the people liberated him, and thus began a new chapter of Bangladesh's success in history. He took Bangladesh from being called a bottomless basket to a nation of potential. It was during his tenure that Bangladesh experienced its resurgence, marking the beginning of its journey towards becoming an emergent tiger, Fakhrul added. National Citizen Party Chief Coordinator Nasiruddin Patwari said today that the NCP is prepared to take Shapla Koli as its official electoral symbol. The NCP leader's statement to the press came after a meeting with Chief Election Commissioner CEC AMM Nasiruddin at Nirbachan Bhavan. Following repeated demands for months for the Shapla symbol, Nasiruddin said that the party will accept the Shapla Koli as its election symbol if the Election Commission grants it, adding that the NCP formally applied to the EC for the symbol today. Even hours earlier, before the meeting took place, NCP Governor Nahid Islam at a press conference today said the decision regarding the Shapla could have been made a month ago. We want the Shapla. He also alleged that the EC was creating obstacles for the new party instead of providing cooperation. The Election Commission has not yet allocated the Shapla symbol to any party, citing that it is not in election management rules. Last Thursday, a notification signed by EC Secretary Akhtar Ahmed published the official list of symbols for registered political parties and independent candidates, which included the Shapla Koli. National Citizen Party NCP convener Nahid Islam has said holding a referendum before or on election day would be acceptable, but the order to implement the July Charter must be issued by Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus, not the President's office. Speaking to reporters at the party's Bangla Motor office today, Nahid said it would be better if the referendum is held by before the election, but it could also take place on election day, depending on the government's capacity. Nahid added that the order to implement the July Charter must come from Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus, not from the President's office, arguing that if it comes from the President's office, the July Charter will lose its legitimacy. He said the NCP supports the first draft or Proposal 1 of the July National Charter Implementation on Order, which stipulates that the Charter will be put to a referendum as a bill and that the next Parliament must be obligated to pass if it approved. Referring to the BNP and Jamaat Islam, he accused the two parties of creating unnecessary debate over the timing of the referendum in an attempt to divert attention from the main issues of the July Charter. Jamaat-e-Islami Secretary General Mia Gholam Parwar said today if the government secretly reaches an understanding with a certain party to revoke the latest amendment to the Representatives of the People Order RPO, it would amount to a violation of the level playing field. Notably, the amendment states that no registered party's candidate may contest under another party's symbol, even within an alliance. In his statement, Parwar said, even if an electoral alliance is formed Candidates must contest in the national election under their respective party symbols. On 23 October, the interim government's advisory council approved the draft amendment to the election law, the Representation of the People Order (RPO) adding this provision. However, according to various sources, the government is now moving to revoke the approved amendment following a so-called gentleman's agreement between a BNP leader and an advisor. He added, "The nation believes that if the RPO recommendation by the Electoral Reform Commission and approved by the Advisory Council is revoked, it would be a disgraceful, undemocratic and politically motivated act." Parvar continued, "If the amendment approved by the interim government is cancelled, it will raise serious questions before the nation regarding the naturality and upcoming election and the assurance of a level playing field for all parties," he said. Dr. Shafiqur Rahman has been elected Amir of the Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami for the third time, receiving the highest number of votes from the party's members in an internal election. He will serve a 2-year term for 2026 to 2028, the party said in a press release today. Jamaat Assistant Secretary General Maulana ATM Masoom, also serving as the party's chief election commissioner, formally announced the result last night. According to the press release, the party said it held the election through a secret ballot among Jamaat members nationwide from 9 to 25 October. Following the counting, Shafiqur emerged as the winner with the highest votes. According to the party's official website, Shafiqur began his political career in student politics through the Jatiyo Samajtantrik Dal Jasad Chhatra League, joining in 1973. In 1977, he became a member of Islami Chhatra Shibir, later serving as president of its Sylhet Medical College branch and the Sylhet City branch. The International Crimes Tribunal II ordered the commencement of trial proceedings today against 5 individuals, including Awami League Joint General Secretary Mahbubul Alam Hanif and Jatiyo Samajtantrik Dal Jasad President Hasanul Haq Inu, in separate crimes against humanity cases filed over killings that occurred in Kushtia during the July uprising. The order was passed by ICT2 Chairman Justice MD Nazrul Islam Chaudhry. The tribunal also set 25 November for recording the opening statement and the beginning of testimony in specific case against Mahbubul Alam Hanif, while the Jasad President recording date has been set for 30th November. Today, when Inu was presented before the court, the tribunal read out the 8 charges brought against him. At one point, the tribunal asked Inu whether he was guilty or innocent, to which Inu claimed to be completely innocent. Later, the tribunal framed charges against him. The other accused in the cases against Hanif are Kushtia Zilla Porishad Chairman and District Awami League President Sadar Uddin Khan, General Secretary Asghar Ali and Sadar Upazila Chairman Ataur Rahman Atta. The Appellate Division of the Supreme Court today began its 6th day of hearings on appeal challenging its previous judgment that abolished the non-party caretaker government system for holding national elections. The full bench of the Appellate Division, headed by Chief Justice Syed Rifat Ahmed, commenced proceedings around 9:30 a.m. Senior Advocate Zainul Abedin continued his arguments for the Bangladesh National Party, BNP, which had filed one of the pleas. He had begun his submission on 29th October. Earlier, Advocate Muhammad Shishir Mani urged on behalf of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islam on 20th October. Advocate Sharif Bhuiya was the first to present arguments on 21st October on behalf of 5 distinguished citizens and continued the following day. Barrister Ehsan Abdullah Siddiqui also took part in the hearing as an intervener on 23 October. On 27 August 2025, the Appellate Division granted leave to appeal against its 2011 verdict that declared the 13th Amendment introducing the caretaker government system the unconstitutional. The court granted the order after hearing multiple review petitions seeking the reinstatement of the 13th Amendment and revival of the caretaker system. Religious Affairs Advisor Dr. AFM Khalid Hossain on Sunday said Bishwa Ijtima will be held in February after the national election. The advisor came within the information while talking to reporters after a meeting with the representatives of the two factions of the Tabligh Jamaat at the Secretariat. The exact date of the Ijtima would be finalized later in consultation with both sides, said the advisor. Home Affairs Advisor Lieutenant General Jahangir Alam Chaudhary, Industries Advisor Adilur Rahman Khan, and Senior Secretary to the Home Ministry Nasibul Ghani were present at the meeting. Multiple protests and simultaneous road blockades in front of the Jatiya Press Club and adjoining areas of the capital on Sunday morning caused severe traffic congestions on several key routes, leaving office goers and commuters stranded for hours and bringing parts of Dhaka to a standstill. Several groups, including the Ibtidaiya Madrasa Teachers, Unity Council Teachers of School for Students with Destabilized, demanding MPO enlishment and recognition, and representatives of recognized but non-MPO institutions staged sit-in demonstrations near the press club. At the same time, unemployed, disabled graduates and non-cadre candidates from 43rd BCS blockade adjacent road, demanding government jobs, worsening the situation further. As a result, traffic movement slowed to a crawl in major areas such as Shahbag, Press Club, Palton and Motijil. Commuters and office goers faced extreme difficulties amid the prolonged gridlock. Despite the disruption, the Dhaka Metropolitan Police (DMP) said it has been making continuous efforts to keep traffic moving under the challenging circumstances. In a press release, the DMP expressed deep regret for the unexpected congestion and the suffering caused to the public. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with us.
সারা দেশে লাখো মানুষের কঠোর কর্মতৎপরতা ও নিষ্ঠায় এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন 16 কোটি মানুষের হাতের নাগালে। দীর্ঘ 30 বছর ধরে বিশ্বস্ততা ও দ্রুততার সাথে সেবা দেওয়ায় গ্রাহক সেবায় এখন শীর্ষে। বাংলাদেশে গ্রাহক সেবার সাফল্যের পর এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন বিশ্ব বাণিজ্য কেন্দ্র সিঙ্গাপুরে। আপনার যে কোনো পণ্য সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে বাংলাদেশে বুকিংয়ের জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন। এসএ পরিবহন প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড, লজিস্টিক্স পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, 22 Roberts Lane, Singapore 218302. Phone 0065 629 24900. বাংলাদেশ থেকে সিঙ্গাপুরে পণ্য বুকিংয়ের জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন ঢাকা সহ দেশের যে কোনো 80টি শাখা কেন্দ্রে। এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, আপনার সেবা সব সময়।
Welcome, Grand Palace Hotel, Dhaka. A majestic lobby blending timeless elegance with modern design. Experience.
Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. News from abroad. US President Donald Trump on Saturday said he has asked the Defense Department to prepare for possible fast military action in Nigeria if the West African nation fails to crack down on the killings of Christians. The US government will also immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation and top oil producer. Trump said in a post on Truth Social, if the United States sends in military forces, it would go in a gun ablaze to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. Trump wrote without providing any evidence of specifics about the treatment of Christians in Nigeria. Trump called Nigeria a disgraced country and warned its government must move quickly. If we attack, it will be fast, furious and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians, he wrote. Abuja had no immediate reactions to Trump's threat of military action. The White House also had no immediate comment on the potential timing of any US military action. The civil war in Sudan has not received enough global attention. The Foreign Minister of Germany, Britain, and Jordan said Doctors Without Borders fears for tens of thousands after the fall of al-Fasher in Darfur. Members of the international community said that the war in Sudan had not received enough attention as tens of thousands of people were at risk after the fall of al-Fasher. More than 65,000 people have fled al-Fasher in Darfur after it was captured by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) on October 26. According to the United Nations, but many others remain at risk inside the city. Sudan is absolutely an apocalyptic situation, German Foreign Minister Johann Wadephul said at the Manama Dialogue in Bahrain on Saturday. Former Democratic President Barack Obama called New York mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani Saturday and offered to be a sounding board if the 34-year-old foreigner wins the election. He also praised Mamdani's campaign. The call, first reported by the New York Times, was confirmed by the Mamdani spokesperson Zohran Mamdani. Appreciated President Obama's words of support and their conversations on the importance of bringing a new kind of politics to our city, said Mamdani's spokesperson Dora Pekek. Mamdani, a Uganda-born state assembly member, has polled well ahead of his main rival, former Governor Andrew Kuko Cuomo, ahead of the November 4 general election. Cuomo is running as an independent after losing to Mamdani in the Democratic primary.
Together, New York.
9 people were treated for life-threatening injuries after a series of stabbings on a train near Cambridge in eastern England on Saturday, and 2 men were arrested in what Prime Minister Keir Starmer called an appalling incident. British Transport Police said Counter-Terror Islam Police were supporting its investigation, whilst it works to establish full circumstances and motivation for the incident. We're conducting urgent inquiries to establish what has happened, and it could take some time before we are in position to confirm anything further. British Transport Police Chief Superintendent Chris Casey said, at this early stage, it would not be appropriate to speculate on the causes of the incident. A fire at a discount store in northwestern Mexico has killed at least 23 people and injured another 11, the state governor said today. The fire ripped through an outlet of Waldo's Mexico's chain of dollar format stores. Yesterday in Hermosillo, the capital of Sonora State, the explosion that occurred in the Waldo store in the center of Hermosillo has left a profound sadness in all Sonorenses, Governor Alfonso Duronozo said during a video briefing published on social media. At the moment, there are 23 people dead and 11 injured who are being treated in different hospitals in the city. Unfortunately, there are children among the victims, Durazo added. Before ending, we go through the headlines again. Enemy nations of trying to rise again, crisis creating unrest. Warned for cool. BNP announces 10-day program to mark 7 November. NCP ready to accept Shapla Koli as party symbol. Referendum before or on polls day acceptable, says Nahid. Kushtia killings charges frame trial order against Hanif, Inu and 3 others. SC enters 6 days of hearing on caretaker appeal. You are up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV. And to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with us.